we all have a common goal, and that's when the tones go off, we roll.
A company always on the run, a destiny, oh, it's the rising sun. I was born, a shotgun in my hands, behind the gun, I'll make my final stand. Yeah, and that's why they call me Bad Company. I can't deny bad company. Today I die. Until the day I die.
To me, Millbrook Fire Department is it's a smaller department than most bigger cities, but it's also got a lot of equipment that some cities don't have. And when it comes to community involvement, we do all kinds of things around the city. Just getting out and being with the people and having them come up and shake our hands and appreciate what we do for them, and get to see all of our equipment and what we do and try some of our stuff on and kind of get an idea of just how difficult it is to be a firefighter. And it's an interesting thing out there.
I think it's mainly based that most of us are volunteers still, and we put in our time on our own time to come out and help the community. And I think the community notices that. Millbrook has probably the best reputation in the county, and I'm proud to be a part of it. We've come a long ways over the 10 years I've been here, and we continue to grow, not only as a volunteer service, but also as paid guys come on. If I wasn't a part of this department, I'd probably not be living in Millbrook. The only reason I'm staying in Millbrook is because of this fire department and the leadership of the department.
And you go to Walmart, you see the same people working there every day. You go to front porch, it's the same people that work there. And I mean, everybody ends up, you end up knowing pretty much the whole community, whether you answer calls there or they do work for you, work on our tools or anything like that. I mean, a lot of these volunteer guys have seen a lot of fire, and they have a lot of experience in, not only fires, but vehicle electrification, even EMS. Not all of them are paramedics. Some of them are just first responders, but doing it so long, they can actually be a huge help. When you have an MVA and you got not only a car to strip down to get someone out, but to take care of the patient, it's great. And most of them, actually all of them, are really good guys, and they do know their job, and they will teach you a lot.
Being a firefighter here has made me the person I am today, the man I am today. When I first started, I was like, this is hard stuff. But I had a lot of people behind me pushing me. And now I look back at that. Then I was like, man, these guys are being buttholes to me. But now I understand why they did what they did, and I could pass along that myself. But, I like being a firefighter here. Like I said earlier, it's a small city, but yet we try to hold ourselves to a higher standard than a lot of small city departments do. And it's something I've always wanted to do.
Our training that our officers put on for us are a lot better than what is available to the other county departments. A lot of our county departments in our area are coming to us to use our training facilities because they know they're state of the art.
Well, we are a professional organization. You can't say that we're not. We are a professional organization. Granted, it's a lot different because we don't do this full time. So it's Most people don't look at it, look at us as true professionals, I guess you might say. But we're a family, I guess, in a sense. We spend a lot of time together, and when we're dealing with either community events or we're dealing with on a scene fighting a fire or whatever, we come together as a team and we work together and go home in one piece. That's the biggest thing. But as for community, to me, community is just for us is the more we get out there, the more people are more receptive to what we do for them. We want to be the good guys and not the bad guys, and that's a good thing for us.
We first got into the Tallahassee right there, I guess, where CVS is. You hang a left to go to the bridge where the dam is. I was like, I asked Chief, I was like, I don't see no glow whatsoever. And man, when we turned left and got to the bridge, it was like something you see off a movie. And it was like everything just went slow motion for a minute, and you got the music playing in the background and stuff like that. I mean, I was like, we're going to be here for a little bit.
Dennis and Deyerle is coming too.
First initial thoughts when we arrived in Tallahassee to assist them on that mill fire was, this is going to be a hot night and a long night. It's all kind of a blur. I know we lugged hoses up and down that hill more than I wanted to. Well, up until we lost the water, I was tasked with keeping our pump panel operator, which was Assistant Chief Barlow, cool, and the truck cool, so it wouldn't do any more damage than what we did. The ladder. And of course, when the wall fell, a lot more heat came.
That's when the wall come down, and that's like somebody cut the heater on to the setting of hell, something like that. But it got hot there for a minute.
But then once we had to shut everything down and move, I was tasked with just pulling hose to where we were setting up next, which was originally thought we was going to be downhill. Got down there, realized we were in the collapse zone of another wall that was going to collapse. So then we backed back up the hill and lugged more hose up the hill. And by that time, I think we were all spent. And honestly, the only thing I could always keep thinking about was, this fire's hot. I've never been at a fire and not in it, and it's been this hot. I mean, that's the only thing I keep thinking of that, and are we done yet?
Yeah, that's one of the things I learned is communications. At times we would be running around, trying to get hoses moved so we can get the truck moved again or whatever. But once we got settled down, I actually sat back and listened to the radio traffic and how he'd done it, with his pars and stuff. that's the first actual fire I've been on where they call pars. And I'm, like, But it was a good experience to have because we don't have that. I mean, it could happen. A large scale incident, don't get me wrong, it can happen here. Don't ever get complacent, but that right there pretty much tops it all. That was the biggest fire I've ever been to. And
After I made the climb up the ladder to get in the bucket with Sergeant Benante, when we were on probably that third move that we were finally at, and by the time I got to the top of that ladder, I was done. I was like, dude, you got to give me a minute. I was down on my knees in that bucket, just trying to get my heart rate down, because I felt like it was about to beat out of my chest. I was glad to make it back home that night.
Message for Adams at Newchester Fire Department. Firefighter Dawn Clayton has come home and is now at rest. She is 10-7 answering her final call. 1815, can you guys get for?
Dawn's experience with this department was heartfelt. She touched a lot of people, and she fought hard for 16 months battling cancer, but the first part of it, she was able to still do a little bit of work and volunteer doing certain things. She couldn't be on the ambulance as much as she wanted to, but she did, and pretty much died for what she liked to do, and that was to help people.
she was a very, very motivated person. I mean, she was a leader. You scratch all the other ones off. She was a leader. She just had a drive in her that I haven't seen in anybody. She would listen to her patients. The way she interacted with her patients was awesome. She was a very motivated person.
Yes, Dawn is the one that actually introduced me, to all this. I showed up one night at training, and Dawn kind of took me under her wing. We got along right off the bat. She showed me everything on the truck, got me acclimated, fairly quickly. Within, I think, a week or 2 weeks max, I was already riding on the box.
She wanted to be she always wanted to give. She never wanted to receive. And her way of giving was to be on that ambulance and going to a scene and taking care of somebody that was in need. That was ultimately her calling, and that's what she, lived for and died for. And when she couldn't do it anymore, it totally devastated her. It took her down to nothing. But the thing that kept her going for as long as it did was the friends that she had here in the department, and the ones that kept coming by and visiting on a frequent basis, and the ones that were taking care of her when I couldn't take care of her. It was very heartfelt, and she appreciated it immensely. So it was up till the day of her death. All she ever wanted to do was to, have somebody from the fire department come by and visit her. That's all she liked. That's all she wanted.
When Dawn was diagnosed with cancer, it was a big blow to all of us, because we all know that cancer kills, and whether we want to admit it or not, that's the very first thought was her passing away, something happening to her, or winding up in the hospital for the rest of her life, because, that's just sad to say, but that's what cancer does to people. It takes their life away from them. And unfortunately, it ended up taking her life, and we all miss her every day, and I'd do anything to have her back, and seeing her smile and having her, being Dawn.
That woman right there shows you truly what it means when you need to have heart and passion to do this job, to come here like she was, and in the situation that she was in, still coming around here, still outgoing, still bringing that leadership, still bringing that motivation here to all of us. That tops it all.
I've served the last 30 years of my life serving in the United States military. You know, all I want to do is serve the community and be part of an organization that, you know, serves the community. And the best way to do that is, I think, is through the fire and EMS service. And because when we go out with lights blazing, we're going to somebody who's having a really bad day. And if we can make them feel a little bit better, just a little bit, or we can save their life, or we can save their house, or maybe even save a vehicle, you know, from getting burnt up or something, because we've had a few of those. That's where the enjoyment of doing what we do comes into play. Yeah, do we have a lot of people that, you know, I'll just let it burn, you know, it's better off. But for the most part, I've learned that no matter what service you go to, this is my second fire department, and I've already got another fire department laid on when I get out to North Carolina. You know, we all have a common goal, and that's when the tones go off, we roll.
Bad company, I can't deny. Bad company, today I die. Today I die. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, blood for blood. We've all gotta die. We've all gotta die. And that's why they call me